Welcome back, baseball family. This week, we are going to assign walk-up music to the All-Stars we've selected, and we're going to talk about more All-Star stuff right now. 9 Plus Us presents the Baseball Together podcast with your hosts, Blackjack Brad and Kansas City Little Big Briggy Blue Eyes. And now, Baseball Together. Welcome back, baseball family, to this week's episode of the Baseball Together podcast. Brad, can you believe this is episode 263?
I can't. No. In fact, you know what's crazy? Is that, we talk about this all the time, but like a memory popped up on Facebook just the other day that was from 5 years ago when we started.
Yeah.
When Wilson sat down and helped me put together the audio version only of the podcast because it's all we were doing.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that we've been doing it for this long. It's nuts to me.
It is nuts. Did you notice my cool hat?
I did notice your cool hat. I'm very excited to talk about the things that go along with it.
It's awesome. And we will, baseball family. One quick, we're going to do a housekeeping item. But before we do that, while you're sitting there, especially if you're on YouTube, just roll that mouse down, just tap your finger on the subscribe button. It helps us more than you know. And if you like what we're doing here, that is a great way to support the show. And we'll tell you other ways you can support us throughout the show as well. So one quick housekeeping item for you, Brad. The small names on the backs of the jerseys with the lower number still suck. Okay,
yes,
now we
do.
can move on. All right.
Yep.
First things first. Jose Miranda and Ben Rice. They are stars of the show this week. First of all, Jose Miranda is the first player since 1952 to get 12 hits in 12 consecutive at-bats. Not games, at-bats. That's
crazy.
Like,
that's
just
nuts.
Let that sink in. 12 hits in 12 opportunities. He's only the fourth ever to do it. He joins Johnny Kling in 1902, Pinky Higgins in 1938, and
because
Walt
of course he
Dropo. Yeah, Walt Dropo in 1952. So, congratulations, Jose Miranda. You are due an applause. Golf clap.
Well, and the thing, so real quick about Jose Miranda. So he's been playing third base for the Twins because Royce Lewis has been out.
Right.
Which, it's like, man, like, what are you going to do? Well, apparently you're going to have a guy who gets on base or gets a base hit 12 times in a row.
All the time.
Because that's what the Twins do. They get on base. They put the ball in play. They get on base. And
that's true.
So I just want to talk about this for just a minute, Brig, because this just blows my mind.
Yes,
okay.
Great.
So like during this stretch, okay, he hit one home run, a handful of doubles.
Of course.
But the fact that he went 12 at bats without striking out, though, that like in today's game is amazing.
Especially with how good pitching has been this year.
Because not only that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
So I have right here just his last 5 games pulled up on Baseball Reference. He hasn't struck out in any of those games. Granted, he was a pinch hitter in the last game, so he only got 1 at bat. But in the last 5 games, he has not struck out, and he has a walk.
Wow. Good for him. That's amazing.
And he has 13 hits during that time.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of replacement guys for those slumping and or injured, whatever excuse we found this time, Ben Rice is the first Yankee rookie ever to hit 3 home runs and get 7 RBIs in one game. Judge didn't do it. Juan Soto didn't do it. Not even the Babe did it.
Well, Juan Soto wasn't a rookie as a Yankee, so
you're right. Okay. Fair enough. He's getting,
but you're right, though. He hasn't done
it. No, he hasn't done it. No. In fact, I wonder what the statistics are for all time. Like, how many rookies ever, no matter their affiliation. That would be really interesting.
I don't know.
I'll bet it's a really short list. Anyway, Ben Rice. I was on whatever the Twitter machine is called these days, and there's a thread of Yankees fans that are saying, can we possibly talk about Ben Rice without trashing Anthony Rizzo? Like, is it possible for us to come together and just be excited for the guy and not have it bookmarked with Anthony Rizzo's just like our opinions of him? And I thought that's an interesting philosophical question. Are we capable as fans of being single-minded enough to let a win be a win, or are we so beset upon by context that we can't? I don't know.
But Brig, it's not just first rookie with 3 home runs and 7 RBI. It's first Yankee rookie ever with 3 home runs in a game.
Really?
That's according to ESPN.
First rookie ever in franchise history.
First Yankee rookie. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Huh. Hot damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's big, because that means not Gehrig, not Mantle, not DiMaggio, right, not any of the big home run hitters.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, I mean, 3 home run guys alone, like you were saying before, like that's not a very long list. 2 home runs, yeah. Like I can think of a couple guys who don't hit a lot of home runs who have 2 home run guys. Like off the top of my head, Dylan Moore, Seattle Mariner, had 2 home run game this year. Right. But he didn't come up to bat the next time. And I was not like, let's see if we can get a third one, Demo. It was like, let's see if we just get on base. Because a lot of guys, if they get on base twice in a game, I'm not expecting them to get on base a third time in the game, much less hit 3 home runs.
And especially if you're young. It's unheard of.
Yeah. For sure.
Anyway,
but no, I think Ben Rice, I mean, do you think they'll keep him at the leadoff spot? Because he seems like he's doing pretty well, right?
Here's the problem with the Yankees. Well, okay. All right. Slow down. There are a great many problems with the Yankees right now.
We're going to be here all night, Brig. We got other stuff to talk about.
I got a soapbox I'm going to pull out real quick. Here's one of the things that bugs me about the Yankees so bad, is that when they have guys who are killing it, and it's because they're there because of an injury or a suspension or whatever, some kind of justifiable time off, and they bring somebody else in and they are rolling.
Hot hand.
We cannot stop taking those guys out when the other guy comes back. We can't stop.
They're not the only ones. The Mariners have the same problem. The Mariners will not ride the hot hand. They were playing really well there for about a month and a half, right? Won like 7 or 8 series in a row, playing really well. They had Ryan Bliss playing second base in the lineup while Jorge Polanco was out. And Brig, this is why I've been saying that getting rid of Jorge Polanco is going to be addition by subtraction. Because, yes, Ryan Bliss cooled off when Polanco came back. They kind of platooned him there for a couple days. They let Polanco hit left-handed, let Bliss hit right-handed, based on the pitching matchups and things like that. But then like, oh, shoot, Bliss cooled off. Yeah, he cooled off. He wasn't playing every day anymore. What do you expect? Right. What do you think is going to happen? Right? So the Yankees are not the only ones not riding the hot hand when you have guys come in. Like I feel like a big part of it is these teams, first off, they want to give the starters respect. They don't want them to get Wally pipped. Right? Yeah. And the second thing is that you're paying these starters how much money? Like Ryan Bliss is getting the league minimum because he's a rookie. Right? Like he made his major league debut this year. Jorge Polanco is getting $10 million. So I get it. They're like, well, we're paying that guy $10 million. We got to get him out on the field. Like, well, I mean, I would pay a guy $10 million to sit on the bench if it meant we were winning and maintain and not letting a 10-game lead in the division disintegrate.
Yeah. Same.
Right? Like
that's exactly right. Listen, you want to talk about service time manipulation and putting guys on the injured list for indeterminate reasons that are a little bit fudgy and squishy. Why can't we do that on this side of the equation? Why? I
don't know.
Like if we're going to mess with the system, why not use it to your advantage in every way? I'm angry.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and I've been really frustrated by it the last month as a Mariners fan because a 10.5 game lead in the division has gone down to 2 in really like a week and a half.
Yeah.
So
we're
it's
having
ridiculous.
a very similar problem.
Yep. I get it.
Anyway, congratulations to those guys. Congratulations. The rookies. The rookies are all over those places. The rookies are all over the place this year. They're killing it. Speaking of the rookies, and we'll get into this in just a minute when we talk about rosters, but there 64 All-Star team selections, 32 of them are first-timers. Okay. Before we talk about that, Brad, let's talk about the uniforms, the jerseys.
Let's do it.
Because these jerseys are something else. They are something else. First of all,
they are sure something else.
The American League features a tan, a kind of a sandy tan. I thought it was going to be cream, but it's more of a sand. It's that
same color as your hat.
It is, and it's more of a sand. So it's got this tan sand color in the front and the back, and then it's got a raglan sleeve into that sharp coral. That really, it's almost like blaze coral, I guess. If
I put raglan on the notes. Is that raglan because it kind of goes up and then across the top? Like I don't know. It looks like it's raglan on the back, but not so much on the front. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you, but I don't know what else to call it.
I don't know either.
But then you've got the Old West, kind of that Texas iconic text saying American League. The what?
The saloon font.
There you go. The saloon font saying National League and American League with the arched American and National above a straight. The word league is straight. There's no arch to it at all, which I think is really interesting. I like that. The contrast is appealing. And then the team's logos are featured on the left sleeve. The All-Star Game logo will featured on the right sleeve. I have yet to see any sponsor patches, which I think is wonderful.
Above the All-Star Game.
Right. Above the jock tag or the laundry tag, they've got ASG in the corresponding bright color. So on the National League, with the front and back being black, they've got that really sharp blue.
Is that black or
ASG.
navy?
Dude, I think it's black.
I think you need to calibrate the color on your screen. I've got navy blue.
Do you have navy blue?
It looks navy blue to me.
I'm going to pull up a different photo.
But so whether that's black or navy, it
makes sense to be navy. Let's be honest.
It's the same color as it is on the hat, just like yours. But anyway, it's got that bright blue ASG above the. Well, no, I'm saying like how the American League hat is the same two colors. The National League hat is the same two colors. Is what I'm saying.
But they both feature the opposite color. So that coral is on the cap for the National League, and we've got the baby blue. They both have that highlight. So you can see on the National League sleeves, they've got that sharp coral.
Oh yeah.
So there's one strip of it. Blue color. There's one strip of the light blue or coral on the cap, on the streaks across the cap as well.
Yeah. Yep. So, what are your overall thoughts of this whole thing, Brig?
I think they're different. I think that they've done a lot to embrace something unique. This has Nike written all over it. I feel like their hands are very red, I guess. If we were going to catch them red-handed at anything, this is a great opportunity. Not that I think they're bad. I don't think they're bad. In fact, I really like them. That's my overall takeaway is I really like them. I think that they're showy enough for it to be an All-Star Game uniform. I think that the color choices are awesome and loud, and I love that. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion.
So personally, I don't like them.
Yeah.
I absolutely love them.
Oh,
I think they're fantastic. They look so good. They look so good. That I love raglan sleeves.
I do too.
So like that raglan style look on the front and the back with the sleeves looks absolutely amazing. I love the old style saloon font, how it arches over with American or National and then League is flat. I love the look on the front. I like that I wish the name on the back was bigger because the MLB logo is still too low, but
Yeah, I agree.
the number, like the font they use for the numbers, looks really good. I think they're fantastic.
I mean,
Absolutely
I
crushed it.
really like them. I like
Out
them
of
a
the
lot.
last several years, the only one I liked more is the one in Seattle, and I might be biased, but
No, that
also
one was bangarang.
like I think they're really great. Look
Yeah, I
really,
do
really
too.
good. And I think they need to continue to do this because it's a fun way to add one more jersey to your collection if you want. Like this
Yeah,
this is one of the ways I see it, Brig. I have been saying for several years Shohei Ohtani is one of my favorite players, but I cannot bring myself to buy a Dodgers jersey.
right.
I would absolutely buy an All-Star Game jersey,
100%.
especially with the way that looks. Like, look at this. Look at
Yeah,
that. Look at those blues.
I know. They're
It's
so
so
sharp.
sharp.
But that the loud coral. See, the thing is,
Yeah.
what I think they've done really well is they've taken this really loud color scheme and they've contrasted it with something muted and
Mm-hmm.
everyday. So they didn't try to do too much, but they're not trying to be too sublime, like subdued, muted. I think it's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like them.
Great job. Look
Okay,
really, really good. I want to
baseball
see. I
family.
want to see somebody city connect with that Raglan style.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Like,
or a
is that
full
really?
raglan would be awesome.
Oh my gosh! Just yeah, full Raglan would be outstanding.
I love them. You know they're stitched that way. I don't know why they're not color blocked somewhere. But baseball family, tell us what you think. Do you like these uniforms? Are you digging this jersey style? Do you hate them? And the question that's most important, I think, is the National League blue or black? That's what we want. That's the most important question.
It's absolutely
I
navy blue.
maintain it's black. All right, so the All-Star
Okay.
Game rosters are live. We know who's going. We know who's not going. And it's very interesting. The lists are both who's going and who's not going are very interesting. 32 first timers of the 64. The Phillies lead with 7 total names, and 4 of them are pitchers, which is tied for the most. Tied for. Okay, hold on. The teams who have sent 4 pitchers to the All-Star game in the past. There's only 7 teams to have ever had 4 selected
Okay.
pitchers from their staff go to the All-Star game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they're
Nobody's ever
tied
sent
for
five.
first,
So,
but nobody's
yeah.
ever done 5. That's right.
Okay.
This is the 5th straight year the Dodgers have had at least 5 All-Stars. I thought that was interesting.
It is interesting.
Here we go. Here's some more fun facts. Luis Ariz and Juan Soto are in their 3rd straight appearance with 3 different teams over the last 3 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's you would think those guys are props or something.
You would, but they're not. They're man. I promise they're not.
Right.
Yeah. Paul Skeens is the first All-Star to play in the All-Star game, who was also drafted in the previous year's amateur draft.
So I saw this. Is it just drafted period or the first overall pick? Because most of what I saw was the first overall pick in the previous year's draft.
Well, I think drafted in the previous year, but
Drafted
I mean,
period.
that's what I read.
Okay.
We should look.
I saw the first overall pick, and I was like, maybe the first one who was drafted at all in the previous year. So it makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I read. I mean, baseball family, if we're wrong there, let us know, but I don't think so. And this one, I love this one. You ready? This one made me so happy. Brother Harper. We love Brother Harper here, okay? Bryce Harper will be the 14th player to start an All-Star game in both the infield and the outfield at least once. Okay? So at least once they've played in 2 All-Star games, one in the infield, one in the outfield. Okay? Now, that puts he's been an All-Star in the outfield at least 5 times. 5 times previously, right? This year's his first appearance in the infield as an All-Star starter. Of the All-Stars who've started in the outfield at least 5 times and also have started at least one other All-Star game in the infield, those names are Hank Aaron with 16 outfield All-Star appearances, Stan Musial, 10 outfield All-Star appearances, and Carl Yastrzemski, 6 outfield All-Star appearances. Bryce Harper is the next guy on the list with at least 5 outfield starts in the All-Star game and 1 infield start. Now, what's interesting is that every one of those guys also made their infield appearance at first base.
I don't think it's super surprising. It's the
Not surprising.
It's the natural progression, right?
But it's fun. I just those kind of squeaky clean details are so cool to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
it's really cool.
Right
I didn't realize that those other guys had done that. So I did look it up. And this is according to CNN. So yeah, okay. So you can take it whatever you want, wherever you are. But also it can be it anyway. Multiple sources have said that. Yeah, said that he's the first player to earn an All-Star nod the season after getting drafted first overall in the MLB draft.
Okay, it is first overall then?
First overall, yep.
Okay, all right.
Yep,
well, that's still very exciting. It's cool.
It is very exciting. Yeah, good for him.
I agree. All right, let's move on to snubs. Or do we want to go through... Let's go through the starters real quick and list them off. Because I think that'll be interesting and important for everybody. What do you think?
Well, let's do that as part of snubs. Let's go through that and then we'll talk about who got snubbed.
All right, let's get into talking about the starting rosters for the American League and the National League, and then as we do that, we're going to get into snubs, which will be contextualized by the starters. So, Brad, why don't you take us through the American League and tell us who we are going to be watching. Tell us.
Okay, so. This is just in order on the list here. So your catcher is Adley Rutschman. Your first baseman is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Second baseman is Jose Altuve. Third base, Jose Ramirez. Shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. Outfield, you have Aaron Judge, Stephen Kwan, Juan Soto. And then your DH is Yordan Alvarez.
Solid lineup, honestly.
It is a solid lineup.
Yeah. The National League starting roster. Catcher, William Contreras. First base, Brother Harper. Second base, Ketel Marte. Third base, Alec Boehm. Shortstop, Trey Turner. Outfield, Christian Yelich, Jurickson Profar, and Fernando Tatis Jr. Your DH will be Shohei Ohtani.
Because of course it will.
Super duh. There are some super duh names on here. Shohei Ohtani's one of them for me. I think Trey Turner's kind of a super duh. There was a little bit of a, are we going to see as much of him this year as we wanted to, but we've since dealt with that.
I like that William Contreras is there. I like that a lot. I think he absolutely deserves it.
100%.
Ketel Marte is back to form. I don't know if he was not healthy for several years or what, but the guy he's been since like last September is the guy who we all thought he should be. And by we, I mean like Mariners and D-backs fans.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we were the only ones who knew about him until the postseason last year. Every Mariners fan was like, fall.
Yeah, I remember when he was the only Diamondback on the All-Star game a couple of years ago, and he was just running amok.
Well, because he's so good. Like, he is so good. And it's crazy because this is only his second All-Star appearance ever.
I know.
Because 2019 was the last time he was an All-Star.
That's right, 2019.
It's bonkers.
So what do you think about the Salvi Perez backing up Adley Rutschman?
I mean, who else are you going to put there?
No, I just mean, do you think Adley Rutschman deserves to start over Salvi? That's the question.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I
well,
do
because
too.
the starters are voted in by the fans, so it's a popularity contest, and because that's who the fans want to see, that's who they get. So that's I have no problem.
Let's make that very clear. Yeah, like this is not 100% merit based, okay?
Yeah. I mean, what was it? There was 7. I think one year there were like 7 Royals who were going to start the All-Star game because the Royals fans, or it was the Royals had like some killer campaign or something like that. It's like, it is what it is.
Well, same with the Baltimore Orioles this year. Just the Orioles fans came out in droves, and the smart fans voted for some Baltimore Orioles. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
That's how it goes.
The whole game is for the fans, so it's not a big deal. But
it's true. Okay, so some other snubs. Ronel Blanco is not on the list anywhere. Not a pitcher. First string, second string. He's not a fourth select. Nothing.
Yeah, he's not, and it's interesting too because the other guy I would have liked. I mean, I my thing is like the fewer guys I have at the All-Star game on a year that you can win, the happier I am because it gives them a
Yeah.
chance to take a few days off, right? So like I'm glad that Julio's not going to be there because it's
Right.
like with the first half he's had, he needs a couple days to kind of get his mind right,
It's a
right? Like
pretty
go
good
hang out
idea.
on a beach for a few days, go relax,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
But I do feel like Andres Munoz needs to get some recognition because he has had an outstanding year, Brig. He has been
Yeah.
so good. Like so good. Like let me pull up some numbers here for you for this year.
Pull them up.
Okay.
Pull up them
Yes, he
numbers,
does have
Brad.
3 losses. He does have 3 losses, which equivalents to basically 3 blown saves. One of
Listen,
those
we all have
he
3
walked the
losses
bases loaded
this year, Brad.
and and I one of those losses he walked the bases loaded and walked in the winning run. I think he threw like it what 16 balls and like 2 strikes that inning. But like
Yeah.
everybody's gonna have a bad outing. It's fine.
Yeah,
We've all
right.
forgiven him. He has a 1.7 WAR, a 1.50 ERA, 14 saves. You don't know what his whip is, Brig?
What?
One.
One?
One. That means that he averages giving up one base
Yeah.
runner each time
Yeah.
he goes out there. And sometimes, like, it's that first batter, and then it's like, okay, he's in a groove. Like he's fine
Yeah.
now. That
He's
guy does
settled right
that
down.
guy's gonna steal second because of defensive indifference. He'll be in
Yeah.
scoring position, but it's like doesn't matter because nobody else is gonna get on base and Mooney's gonna lock him down. He doesn't have
Yeah.
as many strikeouts, but he gets out of messes. Like
That's
he,
huge.
I don't have the numbers to back this up, Brig, but I'm gonna say just because of what I've seen, I think he has more 4 save outs this year than anybody, or 4 out saves, 4 out
Out
saves
saves.
than
Yeah.
anybody. Yeah,
Let me just look it up real
because
quick. No, I'm just
they
kidding.
bring him in a pinch in the eighth all the time. It's like crap,
Hmm.
but he's done it so many times this year though that like when they do it, it's like okay, Mooney's gonna lock him down. It's fine.
Yeah. Well,
So
and there are some
that's
other relievers that are getting, especially in the closer spot, that think Clay Holmes maybe not the first choice.
right, and I think that he would have been a good choice in place of Clay Holmes.
Exactly. And
Right?
you know what? With I think Clay Holmes needs a breather or a chat or a something.
Yeah, and
So
this is the
I
thing.
would
Like,
have
give Mooney
preferred
the
to
time
see
off
Munoz.
because they've been working him hard this first half. But you know
Yeah.
what, Brig? Santos is coming back, baby. He
Oh
got
yeah.
activated today.
Oh, today. Okay.
Today he was activated. So help is on the way. Um,
Help is on the way, dear. We watched that yesterday.
so I
That's
think
it's awesome.
I get the Mason Miller selection,
Yeah.
right? A lot of hype
Yeah.
around that dude. But I do think Mason Miller's selection hurt Brent Rooker's chance of getting on the team
Yeah, that makes sense. And
because
Brent
it was
Rooker,
like they're like Mason Miller. Okay, they've got their one. Now we don't need to
let's
put
move
Brent
on.
Rooker on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brent Rooker has he's batting 278 right now
Well, that's an all-star
this
batting
season.
average this year.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
278, 77 games played, he's batting 278, 35 runs. It's awesome.
yeah,
It's
but the
54
other problem too,
RBIs.
though, with Rooker though, but it's like who are you gonna put in his place, or who are you gonna take off the team with him though, right?
Right. That's the other
Like
problem.
that's the hard thing, because I mean David Fry has been really hot, but I feel like Rooker's been more consistent all year long,
Yeah.
right? So that's where I land on that one. Why I think Rooker probably could have taken Fry's spot,
Yeah.
because how many does Cleveland have? They got like
Like
5 guys.
5 or 6 or something like that.
Yeah,
5.
so you
Yeah.
could take one of those guys off and put Rooker on there because I think he deserves it. And who
I do
knows,
too.
maybe he'll be a replacement. But
That happens.
yeah,
Definitely happens. Baseball
who
family,
else
let
do you
us know
have?
who do you think was snubbed. No, I'm moving on. I don't
Who
care
else do you
anymore.
have? Do you have anybody else you think was snubbed?
I think Christian Walker should have gotten a little more play, maybe up, not first string, but second and third, probably second string. And the fact that he's not on the list at all is an atrocious oversight. I feel like
Yep.
Anthony Santander deserves to be there. I don't know where. It doesn't matter where you put him. I think he deserves to be there. That Willie Castro, you could make a case for Willie Castro.
I'm not so concerned about Willie Castro, but I think Christian Walker should be there. And we're going to get into that just a little bit later with I have a walk-up song that addresses that.
Do you?
I do. Anthony Santander, I think, should be there as well.
Yeah.
My problem, though, is, like, I don't know who you take off. Like, because I think Jarren Duran absolutely deserves it as a reserve.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Riley Green, yeah. And Kyle Tucker. So Kyle Tucker, is he still injured? He's still injured, isn't he? So
yeah.
maybe Santander is going to get in Tucker's place. So
deservedly so.
So, yeah. I think that would be the case there.
All right, should we move on?
Yes, let's move on.
Thank you. We have 3 remaining slots for the home run derby. We have 3 guys that still need to commit to fill those slots. We don't know who they are. We're going to talk about that. But right now, the commits are Pete Alonso, Marcell Ozuna, Alec Boehm, Gunnar Henderson, and Bobby Witt Jr. That's 5. If you count, that's 5. We need 3.
That is
there
5.
will be 8. 8 total.
What?
Brad, who makes it into these slots for you?
Who are the 3 more guys who I want to see in there?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Let me go look at the roster real quick and see if there's anybody else I would like to see on that list.
Okay.
I get why Ohtani's not doing it because for
Yeah.
obvious reasons they don't want to. I want to see Yordan Alvarez do it.
Dude, that was the first name on my list.
Yordan Alvarez, Ellie De La Cruz.
Yep.
Ryan McMahon, why not? Showcase yourself before the country. He deserves to.
He does. And
because
it won't be in Coors.
And he doesn't get any of the love that he deserves for being that good in that place.
Yep.
So, or Rafael Devers. Devers could do it.
Devers would rake. And I hate that guy and his stupid
I know you're too old.
Cheeks.
Cabbage Patch cheeks.
I've got everybody else in the family. They all know now. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I think those are the best guys. Who do you think should come in?
I'm looking again because we had all the overlap. I think it would be fun to see Salvi Perez do it just for fun. I don't think he would compete, but it would be really fun.
I think he would compete.
You need a guy.
I think he'd compete.
I mean, I don't think he'd compete for the finals, but I think he would make it interesting. It would be fun. That's what I mean. I think that he would be a fun person to watch.
So I think he would. Let me tell you why, Brig.
Okay, tell me.
He hit an absolute rocket over the center field fence and surprised when I saw the Royals and Mariners play. I mean, I know it was spring training, but I don't care.
Sure, yeah.
You don't see this kind of power in spring training like hardly ever. That ball, Brig, might not have gotten more than 20 feet off the ground, and it hit about 18 feet up on the berm out in center field. It was on a straight line. It got out like he had,
and they had to call the grounds crew to fix the divot.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I heard it screaming out of the field, though. I could not believe it. I looked at my mom. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit that hard before in my life.
That's awesome.
I think Salvi
could
compete. That dude hits the ball hard.
I'll tell you who I'd like to see, though, is that we haven't spoken of, is Ellie De La Cruz. I said Ellie. You did?
Yeah. I did.
Oh,
I'd like to see Ellie. Yeah.
Sorry. I missed it.
Yeah, he's the second guy I threw out there.
No,
I think he would be a ton of fun. Do you think Stephen Kwan? How would he do? He's got more power this year, I feel like. You don't think
more than you think. More than you think, but I don't want to see it. I just don't care. I think if it came down to Ryan McMahon and Stephen Kwan, I want Ryan McMahon there.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I kind of like to see Stephen Kwan pouring out for little guys.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't hate that.
You know?
I just think that if it comes down to Stephen Kwan and somebody else, I mean, we still have 3 slots left. Why don't you get them out there, man? Get both of them. Get
Yeah,
Yordan Alvarez, Stephen Kwan, and Ryan McMahon. Make it
there you go.
happen.
Be a good
Oh
time.
boy. All right, Brad, tell us about this today in baseball thing.
Today in baseball history, July 9th, 1968, Don Drysdale, Juan Marichal, Steve Carlton, Tom Seaver, Ron Reed, and Jerry Koosman held the American League to 3 hits and came away with a 1-0 victory in the first ever All-Star game to end 1-0.
Can you
How do
believe
you
they only had
hold
3?
you hold an
Right?
All-Star team to 3 hits and
Yeah.
no runs, no runs?
No, not a single run.
Was offense down that year? Holy
I
cow.
don't know.
It's like, oh, that was the year of the pitcher.
Yeah.
That was the year of the pitcher.
So
That's why that
the
happened.
1968 American League All-Star team. Bert Campaneris, Rod Carew, Willie Horton, Carl Yastrzemski, Rick Monday, George A. Bell, Tommy John, Louis Tient, Mel Stottlemyre, Jose Askew, Joe Askew, I don't know how to say that
Yeah.
name, Bill Freehan, Jim Fregosi, Ken Harrelson, Frank Howard, Davey Johnson, Dwayne Josephson, Harmon Killebrew, Mickey Mantle, Sam McDowell, Denny McClain, Blue Moon Odom, Tony Oliva, Boog Powell, Brooks Robinson, Jose Santiago, and Don Wirt. That is an incredible lineup to
Okay.
hold basically hitless.
Right. But so
Oh my,
1968 was known as the year of the pitcher, and the
yeah.
next year was when they lowered the mound.
Ah.
So
Okay, so
that's why
we've been
you
discussing
can try
that
to
as
get.
well. So
Yeah.
do you have a prediction for how this All-Star game is going to go?
I think it'll probably be very similar to that because you get say those teams trot out 7 all-star pitchers against that lineup. I don't care who you're putting out there. Facing 7 all-star pitchers, this could be a 2-0 ball game because one of those pitchers is going to make a mistake
Yeah,
and he's going to give up 2 runs. Like I think there will only be 1 inning of scoring
I
and
can
it's going
see
to be a
that
1-0,
happening.
2-0 ball game.
Yeah, I can see that. Do you think the American League wins or the National League wins? What are you calling it?
I'm going to call I think the National League wins.
I do too.
I think
Yep,
that's how
and I
it's going
think
to
it
shake
comes
out.
down to pitching and the designated hitter.
Yeah. So I thought this was interesting. Um, so today I was watching Foul Territory and Scott Braun was like, I think even if he gets out, they should just let Ellie De La Cruz on first base just so he can run. Just because that's what you
Just
want to see.
because it's a
It's like
showcase. Yeah,
I think that's a great idea. Maybe
that's
just like
awesome.
start the inning with your fastest guy on first base, just because
Just see what
it's the
happens.
All-Star game. Yeah,
Well, this is
just
why
to get
we
a
need
look,
skills.
get the ground moving, right?
This is why we need skills competitions and more of the showcase carnival style. That this is the reason why.
Exactly right. Because you don't get to see anything from a lot of these guys. Like
Nope.
so many guys go up there and you're like, yeah, all-star. Yeah. Wow. 3 pitches. You're
Right.
done. And then he's going to go
And
back
they
to the
wave
bench and
at
we're not
it
going
and
to
it's
see him the rest
over.
of the
And
day. And
yes.
he just stood in the outfield for 2 innings. So
Yep.
yeah.
Well,
No,
he
I
got
think we
mic'd up
need,
one
that's why we
time.
need, yeah, like that's why we need the showcase. You're exactly right. So we can actually see these guys
Yeah.
to see why they're all-stars rather than being like, wow, that was an all-star hitter against an all-star pitcher. Of course the pitcher won.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know
All
how
right,
anybody hits the ball.
Baseball family, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. We're going to do a quick mini game that I've prepared for Brad. Very excited. It's trivia, Brad. So with a big T, you better be careful. And then we're going to assign walk-up music to all stars that we have previously selected. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, baseball family. So Brig has prepared a mini game that we're going to jump into real quick before we get to the all-star walk-up music. So Brig, take it away with the mini game. I am as ready as I will ever be.
It's real quick, man. It's 3 trivia questions related to the All-Star game. You ready?
I'm ready.
How old is the All-Star game?
Let's see here. This is 24. I'm going to say 108 years.
Ooh, not bad. 91. The first game was in 1933. Okay, who's the leader in All-Star game stolen bases?
Stolen bases. I got to go Ricky Henderson.
You'd think, right? But it's Willie Mays, and he stole
Of
6
course.
bases across his All-Star appearances.
That's awesome.
And the final question. In the 1981 All-Star Game was the most attended of any All-Star Game ever, and it holds to date. How many fans do you think showed up in person?
72,000.
What?
How many was it?
Okay. It's over 70,000, but I closed the tab. Hold please. 72,086. I can't believe you
No
nailed that.
way.
I can't believe you nailed that. I was like,
That's
what?
crazy.
I didn't expect you to get. Did you know
That's
that
fantastic.
the lowest performing one was like, I think in 38 or something, and it was 25,000 and change. And so the difference is 45,000
Yeah,
people separating the
that's
most
really
from the least
interesting. Huh?
attended. Yeah. Okay, you nailed it. Way to go. 72. You're
Nice.
like, nah, 72,000.
Let's throw a number out there.
How do you get 72,000 people into a ballpark? I have no idea. I have no
Standing
idea.
room only, Brig. Standing room
Correct.
only.
That is correct. All
Well,
right.
very fun.
Back to you.
Okay, so this is something we do
72,000.
every
Get out of
year.
here.
We've been doing every year for the last this is our third year doing this, I think, where we like to assign walk-up songs to all stars, and we have the entire roster at our disposal. Last year we did it. We are kind of guessing because we had to record early, but this year we have the entire roster at our disposal as of considering starters and first round of reserves, I guess you could say. But
Yeah.
what the way this game works is this isn't necessarily just like this is a good walk song and put it this guy. We have some kind of justification or reasoning why we assign songs to certain players. So I'm going to do the same thing I always do, Brig. I went early
Yeah.
2000s pop punk. Thank you very much.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, I did.
You did
So,
not.
yes, what
We're all shocked.
you should be absolutely shocked. There's no reason or precedent for me to have ever done that.
Oh, yeah, no. Of course not.
Why don't you start us off, though, Brig? Give us your first one.
Okay. All right. My first one, I'm just gonna lob this one in there easy. Okay. We're just gonna start. We're gonna get the easy one out of the way. All right.
Okay.
My first one is Aaron Judge. Okay.
Okay.
The Chief Justice of the Supreme Sport, Aaron Judge. Okay. He's gonna walk out to Ready for It by Taylor Swift. Think about it. Top vote getter. Okay, that's one of her most popular songs. He's insanely popular. Taylor Swift's insanely popular. And that bass drop, are you ready for it? It sounds like what happens when he steps on the field and then hits a home run. It's just like this bass drop moment. So we knew he was a killer the first time we saw him. You know what I mean? Like we just did. And with another MVP type season, baby, let the games begin. Let the games begin. Let the games begin. Aaron Judge. Gonna walk out ready for it. Yeah. All right, you're up. What's your first one?
Okay, before I get into the little bit more lesser known or a little more obscure songs, I'm going to start with one with a very popular band. Okay. This song is called Sophomore Slump or Comeback of the Year. This is by Fall Out Boy. Okay.
Okay.
And this is for Marcell Ozuna. And ooh. I know that he's like, it's not a sophomore slump or anything like that for him. He's been in the league for a long time. But the comeback of the year part, like absolutely, I feel like it's perfect for Marcell Ozuna. Like you don't even need to really get into the words. Because if you know the song and you hear this come on and you see Marcell Ozuna walking up, like, yeah, absolutely 100% comeback player of the year right here. Because to come back from what he has dealt with over the last 2 to 3 years, I love it. I'm so happy for the guy. So happy for the guy.
I think it's fabulous. Good choice.
Thank you.
Good choice. Okay, number 2, Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
Shohei Ohtani is going to walk out to Down Bad. Down Bad is a song by Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay.
And
Did you
he
do all
got
Taylor Swift
burned.
songs, Brig?
Yeah, I did.
You must have a household full of 7-year-old girls.
I sure do. Well, and
So
some of
funny.
these songs were featured in the walk-up music that the kids' softball season this
Oh,
summer. So,
of course they were,
so
because of
I was
course
like,
they
"This
were.
is great." I was handpicked these. Okay, so "Down Bad" by Taylor Swift, burned by one of his best friends, basically staged a hostile financial takeover, and now he's been left safe and stranded. The banks must have thought it was his twin, and now he's down bad crying at the gym. So, Shohei Ohtani. It's going to be going it down bad.
That's really good. Like, so applicable. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, they're all scripted, Brad. It's fine. And
I
and
love
I'm
it.
using the lyrics from her songs for every one of them. Like, if you're a true Swiftie, you're going to be digging this, okay?
You're gonna be all over it. Okay, my next one. So this is Saves the Day. Have you ever heard of Saves the Day, Brig?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, I think you like them. That's not true. I don't know
Probably
if you
would.
like them or not.
Oh, okay.
I love them. They're one of my
All right.
favorites.
Well,
They're
I
one of
bet
my
that's true.
20 bands in my top favorite. My top. They're one of my 20
Oh,
bands in
okay.
my top 10 favorite bands ever. So there's that. If
You're
you
one
ask
of
me,
the
that's what
they're
I'll
one
tell
of
you.
the 20 bands in your top 10 favorite of all time.
Yeah, yeah, because that's what I was.
I
Oh yeah,
love
top 10
this.
favorite band ever, and there's like 20 bands on that list. But
Yeah,
anyway, so
yeah.
this song is called "All-Star Me," and this is for
Yeah.
Cattell Marte.
Okay.
So the opening lines are, "This isn't the way we planned. I wasn't supposed to forget your taste." So straight up, like we talked earlier about how last time Cattell Marte made an All-Star team was 2019. This isn't the way he planned it. This isn't the way. Like, I've been a huge Cattell Marte fan since his Seattle days, and I know a lot of other people who have been as well. And this is not the
Yeah.
way we planned it for him to be, because we expected him to be a perennial All-Star, right? As did,
Right.
I think,
Yeah.
the Diamondbacks, the Mariners, a lot of people did. But
Yeah.
here he is, being the guy we expected him to be.
Yeah. He
Starting
is.
second baseman in the All-Star game. This is the kind of talent he's always had. He's had problems with injuries, a little bit of inconsistency. I think switching positions was a big part of that. Coming
Yeah.
back to his natural position at second base is why we're seeing the man, Ketel Marte, the
Mm,
way he is, and I could not be happier for the guy. So
it's
all-star
awesome.
me, because he is an all-star. Like,
Oh yeah.
this is who he is. I wouldn't be surprised if he's an all-star the next 2 to 3 years after this as well,
Yeah.
because he is an absolute
Wow.
star,
He's a stud, man. He's totally a
big
stud.
time.
All right. My next one is Tyler Anderson.
Oh,
Tyler
that's a
Anderson's
good one.
I'm telling you, he's a pitcher, right? He pitches for the Angels, in case you didn't know, right?
Oh,
He's going to walk
I
out to
follow
blank
Tyler
space.
Anderson. Oh,
He's
nice.
walking out to blank space, okay? When they call him in from the bullpen or whatever, he needs to be blank space, okay? Here's why. He needs to take his 2.18 or 2.81 ERA and show you incredible things. And he's 34, so it's going to be forever or it's going to go down in flames. All right? And he loves the players. He also loves the game. And he's got a long list of ex-lovers, all right? He played for the Rockies, the Giants, the Pirates, Mariners, Dodgers, and Angels. And some of them going to tell you he's insane, all right? But he's got that blank space, and he'll sign his name with another team right now.
Dude, so let me tell you about Tyler Anderson real quick. He's going to get traded before the deadline, and he is going to
Yeah,
help some team make a run in the
exactly right.
playoffs. That
That's
dude
exactly
he's
right.
good. He's got that wonky delivery as a lefty. Like, I
Yep,
loved him when he played for the Mariners. I was so upset when they didn't re-sign him.
yep.
Yeah, I like Tyler Anderson a lot. That's a really good one.
Serves you
Blank
right.
space. So funny.
He's got that long list of ex-lovers. I mean, he just does.
He does. You're not wrong about
Mhm.
that.
I just
Speaking
proved
of
it.
ex-lovers, you ready for my next one?
Yeah, so ready.
Okay, so this is by another one of my top 10 favorite bands ever.
Yeah,
It's a band
yeah.
called Homegrown. Love
Okay.
Homegrown so much. And this song is called I Love You Not.
I love
Okay.
you. Not.
I Love You, comma, Not by Homegrown.
Ah,
This is for Teoscar Hernandez.
Oh, I almost went with
Okay.
him.
So when the Mariners signed him, traded for him last year, I was pumped. So
Yeah,
excited. Right. But
yeah,
then it didn't work out. He said that he could never see the ball well in Seattle, just didn't hit well. He didn't really get the protection in the lineup that he needed. And
yeah.
now that he's in LA, batting like sixth or
L.A.
seventh in
Yeah,
LA, getting the
yeah,
protection that he needs in the batting order, and not having the pressure to be the man. He's an
right.
all-star. Not super
Yeah,
surprised. We knew he had the talent. The So one of the second verse starts off, "We are nothing but a fling, so don't expect a thing from me." But the part that that's like he was a fling, right? 1 year with the Mariners.
yeah, yeah.
The but the one line that really resonated with me with this song was, "I think you're hot, but I love you not." I love me some Teoscar Hernandez,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
man,
yeah.
with the way he played in Seattle, there's such a bad taste in my mouth. Just like, ugh, good.
Can't
Where was this
can't do it.
last year when we needed you and missed the
Yeah,
playoffs?
yeah,
So I love the way he plays. And the
yeah.
personality too. The personality was always there. He's got a fun personality in the dugout, everything. But I think you're hot, but I love you not, Teoscar Hernandez.
That's awesome. All right, my number four. Okay, I'm on four now. Is Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson is going to walk out to 22 by Taylor Swift. Because you know he's the kind of guy who wouldn't say no to breakfast at midnight. He can't possibly be the kind of guy who would say no to breakfast at midnight. And he's having an MVP caliber season. It's in the works. He's happy, free, and confused about how great things are going. And lonely in the best way, because it's lonely up there at the top with Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt Jr. And since he is actually only 22 years old, baseball family, he's literally only 22 years old. He just needs to keep dancing all the way to October. Just keep dancing. So Bobby Witt
Nice.
or Gunnar Henderson, 22. He's feeling 22.
Nice.
Just
I
asking.
thought that was why you chose that one. I thought you were just like, he's 22, end of story. That's it.
Well, but there's the lyrics, Brad. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. You're
it's
right. You're
it's
right. You're
art.
right.
Okay.
There's a lot more depth to it than what I was expecting. It's really good. I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. My next one. Okay, let's go with a little bit of another like little bit of a dig. Okay. So we
Okay.
talked about Pete Alonso being in the home run derby, and
Mm-hmm.
he said he was only going to do the home run derby if he's in the All-Star game. And I
Right.
feel like Major League Baseball is like, we need Pete in the All-Star game or in the home run derby, so
In the home
let's
run derby.
put him in the game, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
And so because Pete Alonso's there, Christian Walker's not there.
Yep.
This song that I chose is by Taking Back Sunday, and this Brig, if everybody who grew up listening to emo knows, this is the quintessential emo song. You sent me a TikTok about this last year, and I was like, yes, everything
I
he
did.
said about this is absolutely right. This song is called "You're So
Yeah.
Last Summer"
Yeah.
by Taking Back Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly it's just the name. It's the title. Like, I
Yep.
feel like Pete Alonso did not have the year that he should have to be an all-star. Christian Walker
Yep.
should be in his place. I'm sorry, Pete Alonso, but you are so last summer right now. I'll probably try to get you as my guy for the home run derby because I think you'll win.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as far
Yeah.
as All-Star game goes, he's not having the year. Christian Walker should be
No,
there
I agree.
in his place. And I do have to, the opening lyrics are, she said, "Don't let it go to your head. Boys like you are a dime a dozen." Um,
Oh.
he's kind of been like a little bit above average first baseman, I feel like, this year, as far as
Yeah.
compared to what he's been, right?
Yeah. He's riding
Like,
some serious. He's resting on some laurels. Let's be honest.
well, and you know, it might be pressing because he's in a walk here, right?
Bro is in the hardest walk year ever right now with a team that needs
Yeah,
him and isn't getting. There's a lot of problems in
right.
his life, I think.
Yes, he has 18 home runs, but he's got his WAR is 1.0. I don't know.
Ugh,
I
not
don't
at
feel like
this
he's
point.
been Pete Alonso that we
Nope.
expect him to be in the way he should be to be in an All-Star game. So I'm sorry, you're so last summer, Pete Alonso.
Good one.
Thanks.
Because I agree with you. All right. Number five
Oh, do
happens
you
to
want to
be
do number
Bobby.
5, or do you want to do your honorable mention? Because obviously
No,
you
I
have
want to
an
do number
honorable
5,
mention.
and then I'll do an honorable mention.
Okay, all right, that sounds.
I got it scripted. I told you I worked really hard on this.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Just making sure.
Thanks for looking out. All right, Bobby Witt Jr. is number 5 for me.
Okay.
And he's coming out to shake it off. And I'm going to tell you why. All right. He's had haters, and they're going to hate, right? They're going to hate so hard. But he keeps cruising, and he can't stop. He won't stop moving because he's the real deal, Brad. He's a legit pickle, as you say.
He is
okay?
he is the real deal. You're right.
He never misses a beat because he's lightning on his feet with 22 steals this season so far.
Oh, nice.
And sometimes he's dancing on his own in Kansas City. Past couple of seasons for sure. So sometimes he knows how to dance on his own. And so he's going to shake it off. Repeated 3 times.
Repeated 3 times. Who were his haters though? Did he actually have haters? Like I thought everybody was like, "Oh, Bobby Witt, he's the real deal," right?
I think once the rookie sensation hype fell away, and because he was in Kansas City, the rest of the world was like, okay, whatever.
Kind of forgot about him.
Have to care anymore. Yeah.
But
right. He's always been there. He's always been rock solid.
You're right. I think you're right.
Yeah, I am right. I do that.
It's a solid pick. I love me some Bobby Witt Jr. though. Man. Big time. Okay, my next one. This is actually for Brother Harper, for Bryce Harper.
Oh yeah.
So have you ever heard of the band Alistair, Brig?
Yeah.
You've heard of Alistair, really? No, you haven't.
No. Nope.
So fun fact about that. So do you remember the TV show on Nickelodeon? You can't do that on television. Oh yeah. When we were kids. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So they actually got their name from Alistair Gillis. He's one of the characters on that show. Like that's where the name comes from. They spell it differently, but that's where they got the name from. But anyway, this song is called Overrated.
Ooh.
For Bryce Harper. Not because I think he is overrated, but because people have been calling him overrated from the very beginning.
Okay. I was getting real worried, Brad.
Oh yeah, no, you know me. I'm a huge Bryce Harper fan.
Yeah.
And so the opening line of the song says, "Well, I think the time has come to tell you how I feel about everything that's been inside my mind." And Bryce Harper is going to come out and put on a show because he always does, because that's what he does. And then the chorus goes, "Because the last thing that I need is somebody like you to push me around and tell me what to do. I know there's a time and a place where you can call the shots, but it's not here." Because that's Bryce Harper. He's calling the shots, not you.
Oh, yeah. So, he is.
Yeah, so I'm taking Overrated by Alistair. Fantastic album, too, by the way. Last Stop Suburbia. Go check it out if you haven't.
Okay.
That's actually one of the 20 albums in my top 10 favorites. Albums.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I knew that.
Of course you did. Okay, who's your runner-up? Who didn't make your top 5?
My honorable mention. Is I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Okay.
Because Brother Harper's gonna come out to me.
Of course
he's gonna come out to Me by Tay-Tay. He knows that he's a handful, baby. He knows he is, right? And there's a lot of cool guys out there. There's a lot of them. All right, we got whole all-star selections going on. 64 cool guys out there. There's a lot of cool guys out there, and he's a handful. But one of these things is not like the others. And I promise you'll never find another like Bryce Harper. Okay. He'll promise you too. Yeah.
Nice.
So Brother Harper's coming out to Me by Taylor Swift.
Love it. Okay, my honorable mention.
Baby. Yeah,
put it in the bank. Okay, my honorable mention. I'm going completely off brand here, off everything, because this is not an early 2000s pop punk song. This is this song actually, I believe, originated in the 80s. Brig.
So did we?
This is for Paul Skeens. Yes, we did. So this is for Paul Skeens. I want Paul Skeens to start the game and come out to this song, and I want it to be the Starman theme from the Super Mario Brothers game.
Oh no!
Because he is a star, man. Right?
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah.
So he's gonna come So he's going to come out of the dugout to and then Brig, you have to coordinate this. You have to have somebody with their finger on the button ready to go. When he jumps over the foul line, you hear boop. That's the cherry on top with this whole thing. And yeah, Paul Skeens, that's going to be his entrance song to the All-Star Game is starting. Because he is a star, man.
Star man. That's sweet.
That's my runner.
All right, baseball family. We need you to sound off in the comments and let us know who are the Swifties in the audience, because we are powerful. Okay, I got 3 of them upstairs, and they are making too much noise for how late at night it is. Of course, it could be the Rottweiler. Let's be honest.
Very well could be.
I don't actually know. But yeah, jump in the comments and let us know who's your favorite All-Star selectee, who got snubbed, and what music would you assign to them if it was your opportunity to pick walk-up or entrance music for this year.
Absolutely. And like you can see right here on the bottom of the screen, don't forget to head over to ChinookSeedery.com. Use code BTPOD at checkout to save yourself 10% off your order. You will be doing the show a huge favor, also be doing your mouth a huge favor. These are the best seeds ever. We 100% endorse them. So again, that's ChinookSeedery.com, BTPod to save 10% and support the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review everywhere that you can, especially on the YouTube machine. If you're not there, head on over and go ahead and do it. Just for funsies. It support the show big time, helps out. And with that, baseball family, we will catch you on Thursday night.